Blue Protoss player playing for Clash Gaming. Make some noise for Hellraiser.
This opponent right here fighting for Team Star. Wait, isn't it J-Star? Oh man, there's so many stars. Anyway, it's the red Terran play. He is, of course, BratOK.
Kozan, I have a question for you.
What's up?
Would you say that with so many stars, you're a little starstruck?
Us D streamers are never starstruck.
No way.
It's Team Starcom. That's right. That's right.
Ah, okay, okay. We got it. No, I mean we're clearly the most veteran of all the casters in this event, and they're looking for the people that we need people that aren't worried about what letter stream they are, that they just want some hype StarCraft, and they're just looking through the list. Roddy, no. Grant, no. Creighton, no. Let's give it to Rushy and Kozan.
That's right. That's right. Also experimenting with mushrooms, apparently, the ESL people that made these decisions. But
excuse me?
I don't mind.
No. We've stated this before. We're both very excited to be here. So a little bit of self-deprecation just makes us more relatable, right? A little bit of oh yeah, whatever. I mean, we're just guys, right? We're just two guys, two guys halfway across the world from each other.
That's right. Yeah, pretty far apart overall, but yeah, we don't get to cast a whole lot because of this as well, right? It's usually because most of the US gigs from Alpha X you kind of get, and then EU times that kind of get handed over to me. Mm-hmm. It's hard to have those fall over one another. But yeah. You know what? I'm having one hell of a time here with you, buddy. And I'm very glad that we got to do this together here. Absolutely.
You know, Kozan, I hope in the future there are other opportunities for us to cast together, but maybe in person.
Sure.
Wouldn't that be cool?
For sure. Yeah. Well, we know the Kubo thing is going to be happening already, so that on its own, of course.
I'm already excited. I just my energy just spiked right there.
You just realized, oh, right, yeah, that's a thing, isn't it? That's actually going to be happening.
Also,
that's a big tournament hosted by Alpha X, of course, and we're gonna be kicking some serious buttocks with that one.
Yeah,
I'm pretty darn sure.
And we're gonna be inviting one of our, a couple of our friends as well, because I know that we have a couple of different scenarios where, I know, because I'm a school teacher full time, so unfortunately, my passion for StarCraft runs deep. But I do have another passion in music, so I will have a couple of days where I will be gone, and I think we'll have some fun guest casters to join you, which should be a good time. Yeah. And before we start talking about this game, because it does look like BratOK is going to try and get in a little aggressive, I need a big shout out to Slowly Falling, who has officially removed me from the Rainer fan club because she told Rainer what I said about mustard on pizza. So thank you. I will make sure to shred my card at the end of today's broadcast here, as we do have 6 Marines and a Hellion show up here, but it looks like a shield battery and an Oracle might be enough to deal with us.
He's coming in with those 2 Hellions, but there's more shield battery here. Ay. All right, well, not even gonna get a single probe right now. I guess it's mostly here for scouting, right? Did he scout anything, though, of any importance right now? Okay, yeah, he saw everything.
Well, I want to show everybody at home the overwhelming damage that was done by this, and it's exactly 0. BratOK lost every single unit there and got nothing but scouting. So good trade.
Yep. The 6 Marines. Yeah, the 6 Marines are a bit questionable. Yeah, I'm wondering what he was expecting that those were to get done, really. I'm kind of trying to come up with, maybe if there wasn't a shield battery, maybe it would have done a little bit better, of course. Maybe there would have been, what do you think of this? If you do send those Hellions in, right, you get the gateway units to chase that down, and then you send in those Marines to try and just gun down a bunch of probes. Maybe that was the idea.
So I feel like the Marines are there to deal with the Oracle, right? In case there's something that the Hellions can't shoot up at. And I feel like the potential was there, but it just didn't sync up the correct way. But it's going to be Hellraiser coming back on the opposite side of here, and he's showing why he feels really comfortable in this matchup. He's showing up with 3 Oracles, and a whole handful of Adepts, but a couple of Vikings will be able to zone out the Oracle, so it will limit the amount of damage that does happen here. But 5 workers is not insignificant. I mean, he's showing his opponent, hey, this is how you harass a worker line. Let me give you some tips.
There you go. Yeah, I'm doing some lovely, lovely damage indeed. Oracles all get out as well, fine and dandy there in the sky. And he's got a third base behind this, right? Making more gateways, getting himself the charge upgrades ready for the next stages of this game right here. And what does BratOK really have left right now, you know?
I mean, he's struggling with the transition here. He is going to get up into his stim timing. He's grabbing +1, so there will be a pretty strong Marine tank timing coming down the way, but it's going to come on the back of 5 gateways for Hellraiser. Hellraiser's already up his third base. He still has these Oracles that are now going to catch workers out of position, and the Vikings are nowhere to be found at this point. So 6 more workers are going to go down. Hellraiser just continuing to deal damage on the backside of this, and now gives himself enough time to get charge finished up. That +1 armor is going to be on the ground as well. I don't know. I mean, Zealots against Marines, heads up. I think we all know who wins that one, Kozan.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. This is another one of these questionable things, right? Because he's sending those Marines earlier on. He didn't have that much to defend against the Adept, so he lost more units there. And now, I mean, any type of timing he wants to do off of the 2 base, which it definitely seems like he wants to be doing, right? Going up to, how many? 5 barracks? So he's quite committed here to deal damage with a push right now. But yeah, having lost so much of his stuff in the earlier parts of the game, is there really a chance that he can get something done here? Some significant damage?
I mean, it's got to come off the back of drops, and Hellraiser's already prepared for that. He's got the Phoenix on the top side in that dead space to try and protect his main base of technology and minerals. And with BratOK not trying to use the power of Terran to be able to split up Hellraiser's army and engage him in multiple spots, I feel like this type of push is just going to be deflected based off of the bulkiness of Hellraiser's army, and he's got tons of Zealots, and in fact, it looks like he's just going to go out and meet him right in the center of the map, and this is not a great engagement start for BratOK. All of these Zealots just going to get right on top of this army, but some mines could help.
It does get that siege tank in siege mode, but ultimately this is going to delay the push even more so, right? And I mean, more warpins means that it's just going to be a whole lot more firepower available for Hellraiser right now. Blink's going to have time to finish up as well as that +1 attack. Yeah, BratOK, he is, I think he's pulling the boys right now, if I'm not mistaken. He's pulled the boys from every single base.
Jeez. He's pulled the boys, he's pulled the men, he's pulled the women and children. He's pulled every single person, every unit on the field for this engagement. I mean, he's going to need them all, but again, it's just going to be so many Zealots that are going to be hard to deal with, and he's going to scout all of this. He knows he just has to hold, so he can take the kind of engagement that he wants to, and with one tank to anchor this down, I don't know how I feel about this.
Gonna be rough. You know what, the one thing that might work out here is some very, very stellar hold position micro on those SCVs, right? A very heavy Zealot army may struggle with that. It's gonna be very micro intensive, but we're not really seeing this. We're seeing a full wraparound of the army here, and well, we're seeing a slaughter. Oh my dear lord, this is like the Battle of Trinity, isn't it?
Yeah, this is hard to watch, not only because all of the frames it takes to load all of the dying animations, but because BratOK just basically sacrificed every single Terran unit on the field to make that happen. GG is called, and Hellraiser taking game number 1, again, flexing why he feels really comfortable in this Protoss versus Terran matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, showing why he's so dominant with it. I guess BratOK as well, kind of, you know what, an interesting maneuver there. Not the one I was really expecting. He's a great player, don't get me wrong. His TVT is pretty darn on point. Actually, 64, almost 65% win rate, but versus Rodos, only 53. Which sounds like a lot, but then if you consider all the other people, right? They most of them have a very significant high win rates in these top 50s and the top 100s.
Yeah, of course we're talking about these percentages like only 58%. He only wins more than half of the time against that race. How terrible for him. But of course, we won't talk to you about like my win rates because like you're gonna be looking at that like Rushy. Why do you have like a 2% win rate just in general? It's like this game's really hard, okay? It's really hard. I don't appreciate you making fun of me in front of all my friends. but no, we're definitely seeing the advantage here for Hellraiser, and it shows that Hellraiser is in that top 4 right now for a reason. So playing really well. Yep. Definitely not out of the realm of possibility for BratOK to sneak a game off of him though. So we are waiting for that second map to get brought up. Okay, it's going to be on Eternal Empire. So I think this is an interesting map for PvT because it's got so many of those drop positions and the potential to harass in multiple locations and be spread out. Kozan, what do you think? Is BratOK going to maybe try and take advantage of that?
I think he should, right? I'm just hoping we're not going to see those Marines pushing out again, overall. But yeah, you know what? There is some good dead space here. What I would like to see, honestly, I'm a big fan right now of the of a little bit of the Thor push, right? From the Widow Mines with the armory into the Thor push. That we've seen some new iterations from that here and there popping up. I think it has a lot of potential. I think it can get quite a bit done. We got a full lobby here, don't we? Jeez Louise.
Yeah, it's a party and a half in here. I think we've got some other language casters joining us for this. I do have to say that DreamHack runs a very, very tight ship. Shout out to everybody who's working behind the scenes at ESL and DreamHack helping make this possible because honestly, for two of us that are kind of being plugged in, like all things considered, like we're being plugged in to help out and bring more professional coverage here for you. But all the people that have been involved have been very kind, very loving, very supportive. Hey, here's exactly what you need. Let's point you in this direction. Big shout out to BratOK for being a good point person in Trados. I don't think events like this happen without organization from people like him.
Yeah, it's very nice, very kind with their overall time investment into these types of things, and just overall, yeah, you're absolutely right. Fantastic people. Yeah, just happy to be able to work alongside with them.
Well, let's go ahead and jump on in here to Eternal Empire, spawning in the bottom left. It's our red Terran player. Needs to win 2 games in a row if he wants to take this series and win a little bit more cash for his pocket in his time here in Group B for the European main event. Playing for Starcom Gaming. Make some noise for BratOK.
His opponent right there in the top right side. He is, of course, the blue Protoss, fighting for Team Clash. He is the Ukrainian. He is Hellraiser. All right. Another thing to note, perhaps, with these win rates, of course, a lot of it is originating from a lot of these open tournaments as well. And if you keep in mind all this stuff, then ultimately, it's just, you know, you have to go through a lot of other people. Usually there's seatings involved, so you don't go up against the Rainers, the Serals, and this kind of stuff immediately right off the bat. There's a lot of other people you have to go through, and that's why these top 100s and such do or usually should have a win rate above 50%. And this is why, you know what, also my win rate is a little bit lackluster overall. I don't want to go into it too much, but
like here's something that I often think about, and I lay awake at night some nights thinking about this. I wonder if I were to play well enough to qualify for a Ligulac rankings, like how much would I get bullied by people to be like, oh, I can't believe you lost against Booty Destroyer 69 on the ladder. All he ever does is 12 pool, and oh, what a loser. And then again, like I just have to sit here, like all of a sudden I'm getting hyped up for a cast like this, and all of a sudden somebody shows up. Yeah, but this guy lost against Booty Destroyer 69, and it's like, no, why? Why do you bring up my dirty laundry in front of everyone?
I mean, Booty Destroyer is pretty darn good, man. You shouldn't underestimate. Those 12 pools, they'll get you. They'll get you good. I'm still laying awake, but yeah, no, yeah, for sure, man. Honestly, it's a monument to these players, right? I mean, Hellraiser and BratOK both have been around for a really long time, and continuously just still part of the scene. And you know, it's also just speaking towards the incredible skill that is involved from these other players, right? These players that have been around for a really long time. That's a Dark Shrine, by the way, versus a Widowmine drop as well.
Oh,
just dipping some knowledge of this, well, just overall information off of this. How do you think it's gonna go overall?
So it's interesting because both of these pathways have their own level of deadliness, and I think they are mutually exclusive of each other. I mean, BratOK's obviously going to have access to scans, but if he's really on top of his mule economy, he might not have those available. So it's going to be a matter of whether or not he can get other means of scouting cloaked units. And at this point, there's no tech lab on the starport, so he can't build Ravens. There's no advancement into biotech, so he's not going to have an engineering base, so he can't build turrets. So I think Hellraiser has the potential to be deadlier over the longer term if he's not scouted. I think BratOK, if he can at least see this coming, he might be okay. Oh, and he does. So they actually pass each other. I'm not sure how to feel about this, Kozan.
That's rough. That's rough. How many? We only have one Stalker, right? So that could be a potential problem here. Overall, not much to shoot down really that Widowmine into the natural base here. DTs is coming in right now. Did he? Oh, okay. He still has one scan available.
Yeah, here come the mines.
No tech lab or engineering bay though on that. Oh wait, it's almost ready. Mines, 3 probes. Second one.
Yep.
You should pull this. It's not burrowing even. What's going on here?
Oh, and he waited. He was watching. The patience on that. That's amazing because Hellraiser's over here also trying to manipulate these DT drops. But yeah, you were right. A good delay on the Widowmine, whether it was by design or on accident. I mean, both players responding really well. And honestly, like I said, a mutual level of destruction here. It's 3 probes lost to 6 workers for BratOK. He'll be able to make up the difference in mules, though. So I think this is kind of an interesting scenario, but it does look like supply-wise, at least, this leans in Hellraiser's favor.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of interesting because the DT is a lot more of a commitment, right? Just economically speaking, much more expensive than those Widowmines. So I'm a bit surprised actually to see the state of the game right now. With well, I guess that Liberator is doing quite a bit of work as well. 3 workers so far, but yeah, I thought overall BratOK should have been ahead with those DTs, not really getting the ultimate amount of damage, but hey. Hellraiser in a really good spot right now, I would say. Yeah. 3rd base on the way. Healthy work account.
Yeah, I mean, I think both players handled that really well. Again, kind of going back to that mutually exclusive feeling. It's not like one is a direct counter to the other. I think both styles left similar openings and vulnerabilities for both players, and honestly, both of them handled it really well, but it is going to be Hellraiser going up into the aggression, once again dropping down 5 more of those gateways, and it just is going to be a transition into charge lots, as charge is just about to complete. BratOK actually might scout this coming with the Viking, though, so that would be great intel. Oh, he's not going to go in all the way. Are you kidding me? BratOK, you're so close, my dude. You just be brave. He's not going.
Like, all right, I saw that pylon. That's all I need to know. Just good to out of there. That's fine with me. Maybe he's actually looking to deal some damage with that Viking, right? So he might be just waiting for Hellraiser to move out here and then land it somewhere behind the probe line. Those Hellions, those Vikings, they do wreck those probes very quickly.
That is true. Usually you see a couple of those if you're gonna explicitly go for the probe kills, but it looks like he is going to take that Liberator and run it to the top as well, so maybe they're going to work together. Archon merging right now. There does seem to be a pretty decent situation. Look at the probe count, 62 to 43 against his opponent, so Hellraiser is starting to pull away economically. I mean, BratOK's got to start making some moves here. He's going to start falling further and further behind.
Yeah, that third base is going to help out a little bit with it. But yeah, if you open up the income advantage, definitely going to represent what you just mentioned. And that's some scary looking blue hills, honestly. The Valley of Hellraiser right now definitely being represented. But I'm kind of interested as well, because BratOK, that Viking was made because of the War Prism, right? He never got the War Prism, so having this Viking right here at the top side, that is even more surprising to me right now, because normally you would send it over there maybe if you did get the War Prism, right? And then you're like, all right, well, I'm freed up. I don't need this as much anymore right now, so let me just send it in for something else to maybe get a bit of value. Okay, this is the moment of truth as well. Is he going to go in for that harassment? There is that Viking going in, the War Prism as well. A lot of pieces moving across the board right now.
Yeah, both players are really getting on top of each other, but BratOK has not enough to deal with this main army here. All of those zealots are going to get sacrificed to the slaughter, and they actually clean up most everything here. So this third base is going to be under fire as well. I think BratOK did manage to pick up the Warp Prism, which is a good scenario, but another drop happening here as well. Look at this. They're trading out similar amounts of workers. Finally, all of the air units get picked off here, but Hellraiser able to continue pushing forward here. He is going to lose out on the worker count, at least for right now, but there's not enough to deal with this army that's now pushing into the natural base of BratOK.
Yeah, BratOK gonna absolutely get destroyed here in the natural base as well. Sending out the Marines and the Marauders. The army of Hellraiser a little bit disjointed, so perhaps a small opportunity here, but those SCVs are gonna have to be pulled in. Yeah, those Archons, just no